thus far? Are you just going to employ the Mac attack once again and just win?
That's the hope, but we'll see. They looked pretty good last night, so we'll see how it goes today.
All right, remaining humble as always. Tommy Cannon, you guys are in a must-win situation, and recently we've also heard that Trouble 2 has left the team. How are you guys kind of organizing for your last push before Vegas?
Ooh, well, you know, Trouble 2 is always on the team. But our last push before Vegas, I'm actually going to be in Vegas the weekend before, so I'll just get it warmed up for the guys when we get there. I know this is a must-win for us. I don't think it's a must-win for Max, so obviously I paid him off, and I think he's just going to win. It's going to be a walkover, I think.
I needed money for strippers.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, I'll be there with you, buddy. But yeah, I mean, we're obviously thinking of new strats all the time, and I said last time that we love the camp strat that people are trying to do, and we might try to employ that again, but I think it'll be something that you haven't seen before.
All right. Tommy, we've seen the Mac attack, and I'm sure you've seen it. Have you come up with a way to defeat it? Are you going to let Mac live, or are you going to maybe box him into a corner so that he's stuck on the other side of the map?
Oh, God. Well, I'm not going to give away too many secrets, but let's just say that we might start bringing some Caernerverns.
Caernervern?
You know, there's a British guy who says it's Caernervern, but I think it's just Caernerverns. I don't believe him. But yeah, you know, we'll try to box them out, you know, shoot the J, try to split the D. Definitely shoot from the three-point line, and yeah, thanks, Drew.
All right, go big or go home. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your opening words. Simp, you are the higher-seeded team, so let's do the coin flip. Which side would you pick?
We'll take heads.
All right, so heads, and the flip will go to heads.
An actual winner of the coin toss.
That's right.
I'll defer.
Ah, defer. So Tommy Cannon will get map choice.
Ooh, map choice. Okay, let me see. Let's take Himmelsdorf north side.
Oh, you can only
South
pick.
Side.
You can't
Side,
pick
side?
the side. Tommy. You can pick
I'll
the
let Mac
map.
pick the side.
Although Mac might be able to allow you to defer again. I don't think that's actually in the rule. All right, so you're picking Himmelsdorf. Mac, where are you gonna take?
Oh man, he's picked so many times. I'm confused now.
Which one did he actually
The
want?
mind games.
I'll have to pick the mines side of Himmelsdorf. No, I'm just kidding. I'll take the south, I guess.
I guess. All right. Well, I guess Tommy Cannon will take the north then. Good luck, gentlemen, in your matches. Thank you for joining us.
Very much.
Thanks, yeah.
So that was Tommy Cannon and Mac G, the captains of Ehrmahgerd Caernervern. Seems like they're in high spirits overall.
Yeah, it looks like EC sounded pretty ready. I think Tommy Cannon, regardless of whether or not they win, he seemed pretty happy about this one. It'll at least be fun matches. I wanna hear those that team speak later. Maybe we can make something out of those comms.
Yeah, definitely. You see, we kind of mentioned that they had a bit of a roster change. And for those of people who don't know, last week at the end of last week, we had the option of switching out some players, whether it's subtractions or additions, and that we can change it up. And we've seen some new people. I really want to see what EC can bring to it this time around.
I am looking forward as well.
Welcome to Himmelsdorf, between our first battle between Ehrmahgerd Caernervern and Simp. In the red south side, we have Simp, who is 6-0 and undefeated, and they are motioning towards the hill, kind of like what Randall was saying. And they've been doing this multiple times throughout. If you also take a look through the tank compositions, it's pretty much the standard lineup of, except with a little bit of difference. 2 T69s, 4 Simp instead of 1, and they brought an extra IS-3. But EC, they're the blue team in the north. They're not going to try to go for any kind of western side push. What are they doing here, Randall?
They are making a three-pronged push. 2 tanks up the middle, 2 tanks up the banana, and 3 tanks up the west 3 line. Fedge is in full retreat as Tommy Cannon is going to run straight into the middle. Vect in hot pursuit. I don't know where Simp is and how they're going to react to this, but this is an interesting lineup from both teams. I have never seen this before. I think I've seen something similar to this before in old tournaments where Simp is, but out of EC, this is new.
I'm sure you mean position. It's very interesting to see how this is going to pan out. Simp not normally cornered this early on, and that could be what EC is hoping for, but on the converse side, they are pretty split up. Fedge, which is a shout out to him because he hasn't been able to play much, but his first battle back has been a short one as you have to sit on the sidelines while Mac G sits uncontested on the hill.
And check this out, Whiskey Dodd from Ehrmahgerd Caernervern is now on cap. He is on the west side of that chapel, which is not anywhere close to where Simp will be able to get free shots. They will have to run the gauntlet in order to get Whiskey Dot off the cap. They have 1:29 to do this.
Urtai has taken a couple shots from Endo and Heavy 20, who have been very good at dishing out lots of damage for. Simpson's gonna wrap around and try to jump on Dead Meat, who is on the end of Tank Alley. Blue Boys captain will get the shot on Scharnhorst, so another T1 has been taken down. Still though, we have about 70 seconds until EC will be able to cap. Here comes the big bum rush from Simp onto DeRosa. DeRosa gonna drop down to just 191. Dead Meat trying to screen for him, but it won't matter as DeRosa will drop to a shot from Endo.
And Dead Meat here is down to 23. He's dead all the way down. 2 tier 8s down for Ehrmahgerd Caernervern, whilst Blue Boys captain is the only tier 8 down for Simp. Fight is going in the advantage of Simp. However, they only have 12 seconds left to beat the cap.
They still need to wrap all the way around. Endo and Heavy 20 trying to take the G line, but it might not matter. 4 seconds, 3 seconds on the clock. Can Ehrmahgerd Caernervern make magic happen? And no, they will get a shot off. I believe it's on Tommy Ken, who was sitting on the cap, so will buy him a few more seconds, but the premise still remains the same. Tommy Cannon will drop. 5 seconds on the clock, 3 seconds now because there's more than 3 members on the cap. It needs to get a heavy, big shot from Endo.
Cap?
No, he doesn't. He gets the shot, and as a result, Ehrmahgerd Caernervern will lose everything here as only 2 members remain alive. Mac G sitting pretty nicely. I guess he can do something if he's alive.
That was intense, how Simp was able to defend against that. There was a moment there. It's so close twice. 2 times this battle came so close, and this has happened before to Simp.
It came down to the wire, but it will not matter as the game number 1 goes to Simp. When we come back, we get ready for battle number 2 in this best of 5 series. All right, Mr. Joshua Cuts-Gray, can you tell us what happens in our opening movement patterns from both teams?
Well, to the north we have the blue team, which is EC, and they're doing a moderate spread coming down the city side, the west side, and for the red team, they have to defer over to Rookhill.
For the red team, it looks like we're having a very normal kind of layout again. Simp taking up, I think we saw this similar layout against Nerve. If any of you are watching that battle, it is so much like that. They're going to just take up some positions in the south courtyards and start slow playing it, getting some good crossfire, as you guys here see on the big mini-map. 2 T69s off towards the east. They're going to try and move up slowly, try and maybe take out a free T1 scout. There's a T1 scout spotted right there. You see that
Mac
bracket.
G, I guarantee it.
No, that is a blue scout that is spotted.
I thought you were talking about, because Mac was spotted also
he
over
was?
in F2.
It was Scharnhorst over in Bravo 5-6. If we jump onto my screen, I'll show you where he is. He is opposite of a T69, right down those train track lines. He was spotted for a moment, and if he'd gone down, that would have been all vision lost in the middle of the map, giving Simp an advantage to move their T69s up and get flanking fire on Ehrmahgerd Caernervern.
We've seen a lot of T69s push up that 5 line very aggressively once they're able to get those shots. Can Simp eliminate Scharnhorst, or will EC take the bait and take out Mac G? They're leaving him alone thus far.
They left him completely alone. I love this.
This is a good start for EC. They're going to find Heavy 20 and get a first shot, and Heavy 20 proves to be one of the important anchors for Simp, if that can happen. Tommy Cannon is leading the charge, though, as the AMX 5100 takes a lot of damage. He hasn't even been able to empty his clip yet, and he will drop extremely fast.
And there we go. Tommy Cannon and Dead Meat are now dead, but Mac G is now dead. The Mac attack is in full swing. This fight could go still either way, as most tanks from Ehrmahgerd Caernervern are in the same corridor. We still have Blue Boys captain rushing to the fight. Whiskey Dot on the other side of the map has killed. Actually, he was in a fight with
shots. Urtai with the double as he's taking out Heavy 20 and a Drox. It's a big 1-2 for Simp, and there's not done yet. Looks like Blue Boys captain will take out DeRosa from this point. Meanwhile, we have Urtai trying to put out as many shots as possible, but he is on the clip and getting surrounded by 3 members of Simp, and he cannot drop here. Can he survive? Maybe even buy 1 more second to get 1 more shot off. Urtai backing off. Will dodge 1 shot and gets a shot on Endo. Vect trying to see if he can add some as much damage. Oh, is Endo clipping?
Endo is clipping. Vect here has been clipping for a few seconds now. I'd expect maybe 5 seconds before he's loaded, but Endo does get shots now. Grim will be loaded now.
Oh, he does get the shot off, and Urtai will drop. Vect has to fight 1v3, and that won't be enough. Meanwhile, the T1s have been, well, they haven't really been able to do terribly much. Whiskey now finally sitting on cap, but it won't matter because Simp has 3 members alive, and that just pinpoints exactly where the last member of EC is. Very well done once again by Simp.
And it was such a good job by Whiskey Dot on the other side of the map, killing Fedge in the T1. If Ehrmahgerd Caernervern had held off on their push, waited for Whiskey to kill 1v1 Fedge, that could have been the pressure needed to force a fight elsewhere and then maybe get a cap. That could have been the little bit EC needed to win, but Whiskey Dot goes down.
Whiskey will drop, and so do the chances of EC winning. Simp is up 2-0. Let's go ahead and introduce the teams. In the red north side, we have Simp playing a Pershing, 2 T69s at 1390. But over at Ehrmahgerd Caernervern, what do I see?
We'll flip that up, Dan, because that is Simp.
I read that
bringing
completely
a
wrong.
Caernervern.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh,
that is
yeah.
not what I read at all.
That is awesome. That is what you just read.
Okay.
Because
I
they're
was
bringing
very
Caernervern
confused.
against Tommy Cannon bringing a Pershing. I love this.
I had one job, Randall, and I failed.
It's all right because it's hilarious. I think this is Simp giving a little nod to EC, bringing in a Caernervern.
And they're meeting EC head on, ready to brawl. EC loves picking Southside proc and just going at their opponents, but now all of a sudden they're hesitant because they say, wait, are all 7 of you here? And that's indeed the case. Led by the charge of Heavy 20 in the Caernervern. Now the Caernervern does have
Mac
some
G
good
leads the
damage.
charge.
But Mac G is going to be the one going in front.
And
in the
gets focused.
T1.
And goes down to 137, but there's a trade as Scharnhorst goes down in return. Blue Boys, what looks like he will be the next focus as DM Gomes is focused by Simp. He's down to 147.
What is going on? I don't understand any kind of organizational pattern. It's just focus on whoever is in front of you. And EC and Simp are trading out members. EC currently is up in numbers, but I mean, how does that really matter? The HP pool still does favor Simp slightly, although I haven't been keeping tracks of reload times at all, Randall.
These reload times, T69s are all reloading. There's ammo rack on our type, but it doesn't matter. Oh, a perfect ram by Tommy Cannon in the Pershing. Fantastic right there. This actually kind of brings the fight to an even point where Whiskey Dodd is at full health. Tommy Cannon is at 7,500. And it looks like Droxus could go down in a moment because DeRosta is firing into the back of him in a T1. Whiskey will be reloaded very shortly.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to try to see if he can 2v1 this. The T1's trying to do as much as they can from behind. Droxus, are you reloaded yet? Needs to get a good shot if he can get a nice average.
In about 5 seconds or maybe just in a moment. Tommy Cannon is ammo wrecked though, and he will have an incredibly long reload.
Droxus is doing a good job here.
Tommy Cannon takes cover behind the dead corpse of his comrade and does get a shot to bounce.
Whiskey will finish off Droxus, and Heady 20 will focus back on Tommy Cannon. So now it is a Caernervern versus an AMX 1390 and 2 T1s.
Whiskey
This is not something you see every day here, Randall.
This is actually amazing. Whiskey Dot here in probably one of his best tanks, the 1390. He's going to try and skirmish Heavy 20 out, as both Vect and DeRosta are going to attempt to escape. They can cap pressure with this, and Whiskey Dot will disappear into the distance if he's smart. Run, Whiskey, run. This is your advantage. Heavy 20, though, will lots of pressure on him to catch Whiskey out, destroy him, use his heavier, medium... Actually, wait, that's a heavy tank. Use his heavy tank to just destroy this little light tank, Whiskey Dot. Whiskey, though, will need to stay high, extremely mobile, use his camo, and this autoloader to his advantage to begin his engagement.
That's right, maybe he can use his mobility to his advantage. It is an open field in that regard, trying to use his defilade to screen, at least for him, but he does take another shot. He only can take about 2 more before his time is over, but Whiskey should have a full clip by now. Meanwhile, we have Vect. Maybe can add some cap pressure and set a time limit to how long this battle can take place. Heavy 20, he's one of the best brawlers in all of World of Tanks in North America server. He needs to come in through the clutch, but he's done it so many times before for Simp. I can't doubt him now. I have to give him the edge here.
Well, the thing is, Whiskey Dot has a faster tank, and they're fighting around a rock. So Whiskey's going to have to make the mistake, and Heavy 20 could try something sneaky, but Whiskey's going to be able to play around this rock all day. Once Heavy 20 turns his turret to shoot Vect, Whiskey will be able to unload into the back of Heavy 20's turret. That is the downside here. Heavy 20 will very smartly back off, and baits out Whiskey Dot, but he shoots and misses.
Misses the snapshot. Now, Whiskey will shoot bullet number 2. Now, also the converse is that if Whiskey can't hit all of the shots either, he can be caught in a long reload. and that'll give Heavy 20 the time he needs. Still, we have about a minute 5. Oh, and Whiskey loses vision of where Heavy 20 is, and
But
that's
here's
also
the
going to be
thing.
really tricky as
Whiskey
well.
has a vision advantage. He has Vex also can spot him from the cap, and Whiskey Dot has a bush to cover himself. So all he has to do is back out when he's reloaded. I think he's reloading right now. Very smartly, he will be able to finish off Heavy 20 with his next shots. Heavy 20 knows he's spotted, so he blind fires.
Just in case, you never know.
Well, he does have Sixth Sense, so it indicates that he was spotted. Heavy 2-1, he misses again.
Barely. Whiskey able to dive a little bit lower below. Heavy 20 tries to even line up another shot. Maybe he can get a good track shot as well. He will line it up, and he does get the shot off. Whiskey is in trouble. Still just trying to buy time for his teammate as well. 400 health, and Heavy 20 will get the last shot. Now he has to get back in cap just in time, and I think he will be able to do it.
He missed
Or
his
will he?
15 seconds left, but the Caernervern reloads incredibly quickly.
He's too good. He's too good at aiming to
But
miss
look
it.
at this. Simp did not destroy the cover on cap.
Oh my! And Heavy 20, now he's about
3,
to see it.
2,
Needs to get the shot.
1,
He
miss.
misses! And all of a sudden, Ehrmahgerd Caernervern able to cap out Simp on proc for battle number 3. I guess the Caernervern couldn't do everything. Ehrmahgerd.
Let's get this show on the road.
Welcome to Steps. On the blue side, I swear I'm going to get the introductions right this time. We have Ehrmahgerd Caernervern, as we're on Gomes and Whiskey Dot's point of view. Donning 3 1390s and 2, a 69, and I believe that's a Pershing.
That is a Pershing.
Oh, my silhouette recognition has improved a lot, Randall. Are you proud of me?
I am proud of you, Dan. And on the other side, it should be an easier silhouette to recognize, as those are 2 T69s and 3 1390s. There will be no lull tractors today, though. I'm very sad.
No lulls for this. Clutch, what do you make of the opening movement patterns over in Steps?
For Steps for EC, I'm seeing a split pattern here. They're taking 3 of those light tanks all the way to the west side, which is a smart move because you have some of those rock areas and ridges to pull back from. And they're covering the middle road, which they do have enough cover to not get hit by anything since there's no artillery on this map. But that leaves SIP to move in further south, especially in that that eastern valley, excuse me, and can give them more map control if EC does not push all the way in from the west. But it looks like they're getting pretty far into enemy territory.
That's right, and maybe they can pick up maybe one of the T1s. Mac G, of course, in his C5 bush that he likes to. Fej also gets an important scout, and I want to say that's Gomes or Whiskey because they were pushing very aggressively.
I wonder
and
who
it
is
is
spotted. As Fej does know, as he is spotted, he's going to retreat to a very safe little rock and try and escape. But it looks
Very
like
nice.
Scharnhorst is getting into position to spot Fej. He will not. Oh, he will. There he goes. Fej back up.
but he was already on the retreat, so he can't.
No, there's still a chance. It's gone.
Just that moments of hesitation, the Scooby-Doo factor, if you will. Just when you look, it just seems like those Medellin kids get away again.
Those Medellin kids and that.
It would have worked if
stupid
it
dog.
wasn't for you Medellin T1s.
And your stupid mask.
It's like Dorasta. It would have worked.
Good
As
one,
They
Shaggy.
reveal the mask.
I feel like Tommy Cannon definitely is kind of like the Shaggy.
He did look pretty shaggy
He
today.
did look
in
pretty
the-
shaggy today.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of hair. I don't remember him having that kind of hair when I met him over in E3.
Well, Tommy Cannon
Tell him
has
to
been-
share, man.
Tommy
share
Cannon's
the hair?
taking some first hits, guys. He's down 12-19 and a 14. Those are some
thank you.
sweet shots from Simp. He's going to have to roll back on that hill and get behind Shamhorse here.
Well, the Pershing is pretty decent, although it still does have the same frontal armor as the T69, just a little bit different on the turret. Something interesting to know. So in combination, I think they're very good together as a solid line.
The two tanks complement each other very well. You have a great burst fire out of the T69 and fantastic pen with the gold rounds. But at the same time, you are vulnerable when you're reloading as a T69, so what do you complement it with? The same effective gun on a Pershing, which fires actually at higher DPM than the T69 does. I know you've been looking at the DPMs of tanks. Have you looked at the DPMs of both of these tanks together?
269 is 1744.
But what is the Pershing?
1756.8.
It's a little bit higher, isn't it?
Just a little
Just
bit.
a little bit, and every
Just
little bit
12
counts.
damage, I guess. Yeah, 12
Hey.
HP per minute could make the big difference. We've seen people live with less than that. in WGL thus far. And we've also seen people do this kind of push over in the northern side, over into the A line, but they usually send 1 or 2 people, let alone 3. Urtai, Gomes, and I want to say that is Whiskey moving over and trying to get a good flank, but Simp seems to be in a good position to crossfire. If EC is to cross the tracks and they can get spotted, they can be in for a world of hurt.
Urtai and Whiskey Dot, along with Gomes, I believe, have been spotted. There was a T1 somewhere on the A line here, and it looks like Heavy 20 and Crimson Corsair are going to move to try and react to this push as it comes in. Here's Red Base under attack. Tommy and Sharn are all moving to overwatch this ridge line.
Okay.
Just waiting for a Simp player to peek out.
Crimson Corsair is lit up. He takes a shot, not from Tommy Cannon, but from instead, I believe, one of the 1390s.
Exactly, I saw it come from there as well. Tommy Cannon, though, not a huge waste for him. He's a consistent fire tank, so he's not going to have to worry about reloading any kind of clip like the rest of Simp will. Oh, there's Blue Boy's tracked out in the open as he leads the charge. He's going to take a second hit.
Nice shots from Scharnhorst as well. This is going to be this is a good start for EC. A minute on the clock, while Fej and Mac G can make for a counter cap, but we do have Vect waiting.
And there's DeRosta going down, which will stop the cap and initiate a push from Ehrmahgerd Caernervern's 1390s.
2T1 spotted on the cap, so they know exactly what they're up against. Urtai will try to push up, but Droxus is waiting for him. He dodged one shot, but he is tracked. Is he going to use the repair kit immediately? No, he's just going to try to see if he can take the shot. Urtai repairs, but it's not going to be in time, and the 3 focus fire shots from Simp is able to take out that 1390 Whiskey. Now going to try to go for the surround along with Gomes, which is a position that they're very familiar with. EC loves brawling like this in open spots.
Exactly, as GM Gomes is going to perhaps shift his focus to Blue Boy's captain.
Whiskey is so low, but Blue Boy's captain does whiff on one of his shots, 1390, and does he have another shot left? He does, and it is going to take down Whiskey Dot, but Vect makes the awful choice of taking down Mac G.
DM Gomes is going to get taken down to 120, and never mind, because he's dead. Scharnhorst is the only tier 8 left for Ehrmahgerd Caernervern, and it looks like all hope is gone.
That's right. Simp has done a phenomenal job being able to handle the aggression from EC. It was a very, very cool push to see. We don't normally see that much aggression over onto the behind the tracks by the cabin over on the A road.
This looks very much like the Ehrmahgerd Caernervern in our qualifiers. This is a kind of aggression that they could definitely hone and become so much more experienced with. I expect to see them next season just bring it back.
They're not out of it yet, Randall.
They're not out of it yet?
You know, at worst, Ehrmahgerd Caernervern will have to play a tiebreaker for a potential playoff tiebreaker. That's the worst possible. So no matter what, they will be playing tomorrow. And that's actually kind of exciting for me to hear because I want to see what they have to bring. Simp will be finished off here, or rather Simp will finish off with Endo's last shot. Let's take a quick commercial break and get ready for our second match of the day. When we return, analysis and so much more. You're watching WGL.
Are you ready? Welcome to the Wargaming.net League North America World of Tanks. Oh my God! It is time for North America to answer the call of esports. This could be it. 5 seconds left to go. I think we said it. Got it at the last second. An amazing play. This is just a taste of what's to come. He's trying to turn it around. Big shots going down.